Here's a lesson on Taranov Shook, Taranov Shooking. See a whole lot of equipment set up here. Now watch an experienced beekeeper lop his way through this. So yesterday we did a audio test on the bees without opening the colony. We see their status. Are they stable, unstable? Are they in swarm mode or not? All without opening. If you follow us at all, particularly this lesson is directed at the personal advisory students. If you'd like to learn some intermediate to advanced sustainable beekeeping skills, you can plug into the personal advisor program, even if you're a new beekeeper. You can go to littlecreekbeeranch.com to the personal advisor page at the top and read that service. It's a coaching support service, and we teach detailed sustainable beekeeping strategies, a subscription system, but if you invest in something, you're going to gain something out of it. That's the idea. Increasing your bee IQ, that's our desire. The learning curve in beekeeping is a monster. It'll eat you up if you don't have a good coaching support system. So what you see here is the hive that we're going to shook. That is the parent spot, and this hive will be broken down and moved over here upside down, and we're going to shake frames onto the ramp. This will be our Taranov swarm box. That will be our Taranov parent. This set will be slid over in its place, and we want the bees who are already oriented, mature bees, oriented to this spot. They'll leave the board as we shake, and they'll go back to the parent house, which would be that box. And the nurse bees who have not oriented yet will stay on the ramp, and there's a hood right here. And it's dark inside that hood. So we kind of have a 1, 2, 3 step process. We'll shake them to an X on the board. That's the first stop. Second stop is in the hood in the dark. When it fills up, when we're done shaking, we're going to slide them over, deposit them in the Taranov swarm box. This is a powerful strategy. A lot of beekeepers, they're learning, even if you're an older beekeeper, you're still learning and developing skills. The trade-off of this strategy is you see all the equipment, lots of equipment. Well, that's okay. That's all right. That's the trade-off for this one. But this is a killer strategy that will help stop the swarming desire right away. So actually what we're going to do is throw the bees into a swarm. We're going to push them into a swarm, and they'll ball up underneath the hood, and it puts the beekeeper in a little bit more control. But what I want to show you is kind of what we did yesterday. I didn't film it yesterday, but we have, I don't know if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. Eddie Wood's timeline card. We teach this a lot. Eddie Wood's timeline card. I won't go into details, but we go from the left to the right, and the center of it is very important. The left side of this is dry queen cups. The right side of this is wet queen cups and queen cells. So it's real important to know where you are on either side before we get in, okay? Before we get in. We teach this whole strategy in our beekeeping classes online, and we've written some ebooks about swarm prevention management. All right, so Eddie Wood's timeline, this is a principle. This whole process is a principle. This is what the bees go through. So my desire is to see if I have wet queen cups and wet queen cells inside. That's my desire. If I do, the queen cells will go into the parent house here. No queen cells here, only the old queen. If I'm shaking bees and I can find the old queen on the frame, I'll put her safely in a box over here out of the way and just continue to shake bees. If I have to make any changes, then I know I've got her safely in there. I have 2 extra nukes right there in case I want to make a couple of small splits. I can do it, but I must know where the queen is. If I don't know where the queen is, I can't easily make splits, and we just negate those 2 splits. Kind of depends upon how many queen cells are in here, okay? So yesterday we did Apivox auditor test, a whole array of tests confirming that yes, they are in swarm mode. We also did Thump Test for audio on the hiss, and it was a very faint hiss that kind of went on for a little bit. The first thump was very faint. The next 3 or 4 thumps was nothing. So that tells me the bees are probably packed up inside. They've already mentally abandoned their house, like, whatever, we're leaving anyway, we're not going to report to you. So this is a perfect time. It's March 25th, about 10:30 in the morning. Temperature's about 65. So the bees ought to kind of lock down. The question is, how hard is it for me to get these two boxes apart? We're going to see if we're packed with bees. We have a spacer inner cover up top. We probably got to scrape out some wax and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of do my work. I'll kind of explain as I go the best I can. I get kind of focused on my work. So this is probably an hour and 20-minute lesson. We'll see. March 25th at 65 degrees, 10:30 in the morning. Let's have a class. Terrible ants up here. Just kind of busting off the ants. Hasn't been opened. This one hasn't been opened in a while. Almost a year maybe. So let's see what we have. Don't worry about the ants. We have bees up top. Not a lot. Now, I did the audio test yesterday, about 2 or 3. No rush. No rush. Pull it to me and hinge it to look underneath. Hold it. Use the smoke to push the bees forward. See some queen cells. Okay, so I ripped one queen cell. Box goes over here. Stays right there. Spacer goes on top in case there's cells. I don't want to smash them. Okay. Very heavy. Slides over. This is the parent spot. Okay. Here comes Taranov Shook. And they go up into the box, or to the hood. Now remember, this is the top box, backwards. Okay, so as I inspect, I'm looking for the queen. I see a beetle. This is a honey frame. When I shake, the bottom of the frame is parallel with the board. Too many bees. A honey frame goes to the far side. A little bit of sugar water with lemongrass oil. It calms the bees down. They're okay. Honey frame, light on honey, no queen. Shake the bees. And it's always helpful if I have a student. Now the bees are leaving, you can't see them, and they're going back to their parent house, the mature workers. Looking for the queen. I usually find the queen when I hold the frame at a 30-degree angle. missed her. Go down here. Gosh, girls. Off the frame. Okay. Honey walls on the outside. Honey walls on the outside. Apivox auditor said, Apivox said not large brood production, which would make sense because when they're in swarm mode, they will prevent the queen from laying. They're so clustered up. If I can find the queen and separate her, I'll just, whatever frame she's on, I will stick it in a box behind me, and I'm much more comfortable with that. They're so clustered I may not find her today, but that's okay. Shake the bees. Okay. I have a swarm cell here. And I want to know, is it wet? Yes, that swarm cell is wet. So I'm going to take it and stick it in the parent house. There. Make sure the old queen's not on the frame. Okay. We don't want the old queen here. She should be over here, end up over here, and we don't want swarm cells here. We want them over there. Okay. This is a queen clip. 2 queen clips on my jacket in case I see her. I can nab her and she's safe. Not a problem. Don't have to, I like to. Better to find her on the frame. Okay. All right. Got to clear some wax. Always easier when you have a student, but this had to be done. So, you know, get her done. Good lesson. I want you to see the whole view. Kind of a big panorama view. peek out and hurry. They'll figure out how to march up the ramp here in a little bit. They're kind of disoriented. All right. All the tools. Try to keep, if you do this, keep your movements. This is the center or the pivot of my movement. With all of my tools, that's the furthest distance I have to go. When you're doing a Taranov Shook, you're going to have steps to think about, physical steps. This is actually an old beekeeping strategy. We don't want bees getting away from us. So here's a frame of brood. Her Royal Highness ought to be here. Let's see. There's some eggs in there. So I already found one wet queen cup. So that puts them on the right side of Eddie Wood's timeline. Oh, and there's another one. I'll get my hand settled. Right here's another one. Okay, so I'm going to shake the bees off. I like to inspect about a dozen cups. Okay, shaking the bees, always at an angle, and the bottom of the frame is parallel with the ramp. Yeah, you never know it. It's okay. So there's a wet queen cup. It's not sealed yet. So that's day, I caught them between day number 3 and day number 6. Day number 6 to 8, they cap over. So now, this cell is on this side, this cell is on this side, so I'll put them together. First queen to hatch is going to sting the other ones. First queen to hatch will sting the other cells. That's okay. Oh boy, I tell you. Always funny. You don't have to panic. The bees that have committed to this house and oriented to that house are leaving, figuring out where they're to go, and they're going back. These are nurse bees that are left here. Mostly nurse bees. Looking for the queen. We'll come around so you can see up close. The frame's upside down, of course. See how I'm holding it with my fingers, and I can twist it. She's still laying too, so they haven't slowed her much. Usually they'll keep her running. So if she's laying, I see eggs. If she's laying, she'll be fatter than normal, and she can't fly very far. When they push her out the door to swarm, she won't go very far because she's still laying. She's gorged up with eggs. Okay, so I don't see the queen here. If you see the queen, shout out at me here. See? No queen. Let's settle down. Okay, let's shake them. Now, this has got brood on it, so it's going to go in the Taranov swarm to help lock them down. That angle. Hang on to the frame, don't let it go. They'll want to get inside the Taranov box to keep the brood warm. It's okay. To give the bees kind of an incentive and to get them going upwards. These are nurse bees that don't know what to do. Nurse bees are under 3 weeks old. They're putty in our hands. We can put them. The queen Maillard down there. There they go. So this is so much fun, man. But this absolutely takes away the swarm dive. We're forcing them into a swarm desire. So now they find the darkness. See how they're marching fast? They find the darkness and it's warm up there. Boom. That's good. It's just so fun. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. This is kind of for new students, this is a little bit intimidating. You get used to it. The bees, they're not mad. They may be a little cold. It's 60, 61. But see, I like that because they settle down. They're not so flighty. Here's a frame of brood. I might have missed the queen. The bees act like on the ramp. They act like the queen is on the ramp. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Take my time with you. So here's what I do to find a queen. Get my hands right. I'll go once around, slowly, twice around, once in the middle, twice in the middle. You got to slow down. Same thing here. Once around the outside, twice around the outside, twice in the middle, and then I'll hold her at a 45 degree, about 30 to 40 degree angle. Normally, that's how I find them right here, because they're fat and they're going to porpoise over her daughters at an angle, sharp angle. Okay, no. Here we go. Now, here's something. Let's see. Now I've got to get more nurse bees over here. And I can shake them off in there, but I gotta make certain that I don't see a queen here. Because if the queen ends up over there, they're still going to swarm. I've accomplished nothing. Make sense? Okay. If you ever want to look at a particular section of the frame, take the back of your hand and just gently touch it. See how they clear out of the way? Don't blow on them. See that? See that open spot? Let's do it again. gently. And off they go. Don't blow. They don't like carbon dioxide. But if I'm looking for a cluster, like maybe the queen is there. See how they move? And if I can get them to move, they might expose their queen to me. She's so camouflaged. Or a finger, the back of your finger. Little tips and tricks like that make your work easier. I'm taking my time here because I want this frame of nurse bees in the parent box, but I don't want a queen on this frame. You got to be cognizant of the volume of bees that you're separating. The risk is that the parent house will crash. We don't want the parent house to crash. You've weakened it significantly. But we caught these bees at a great time. Okay, they're going to go to the parent box. I just get nervous right here because if I accidentally put the queen in here, then we got to sort it out. Okay. When you shake into a box, you go diagonal, diagonal. Check for swarm cups. No cups. That's a drone larva. Drone. So this frame of brood will go here. Next one. The bees are very quiet over here. That tells me that the queen is still here. So if the bees are very quiet, they're flighty, they're lost and confused, the queen is still here. So the nurse bees will follow the scent of the queen. They're fussy over here, they're confused here, they're quiet here. Queen's still here. See that? It'd take you about 15 years to learn to learn that. Now the queen is probably running away from me going, I'm working her against the wall. Take the time to step over here, and I got my left hand pinched in that open corner. See if I can get the camera right. She'll be long. She's still laying, so she'll be fatter. They like to hide her and tuck her away, keep her hidden. Queens don't like daylight. A lot of times when I have students with me, they'll spot them, but I'm by myself today, so. And you probably see her and you're probably screaming right now, she's right there, man. No, I don't see her. Okay, so I'm going to shake them to the ramp. Bees are leaving the frame. They're going, what are you doing, man? Okay, probably the last frame. She's on the last frame. Get a good look. Yeah. All right. right, man. Shaking here. Pull at an angle, parallel with the board. Good grip. Get 2 shakes. 1, 2, maybe 3. Good frame of brood. Pretty good. The frame of brood in here. Let's see. Did I? Oh, queen. Make sure. Let's see a queen cup. Take my time. Let them do their thing. See, we don't want to miss a cup without inspecting it. Okay, the cup is right up here. You can see, get in there. Right in there. This bee's out of the way. It has an egg. So we're going to kill that egg. Ba-boom. Only because we want this frame of brood in the Taranov swarm box under the ramp. But we don't want any other cells, so we'll destroy that cell. It's okay. There's some good brood here. Now, I'm only going a little slower because I'm teaching a class. This would be a little bit faster. Gonna get the bees going. And they're confused. When that queen hits the ramp, she'll go boo, and you'll see them race right after her. So they're a little confused. That's okay. That's okay. They'll work out their This is a actual bee division, not a frame splitting scenario. We're shaking bees so that the bees that have already oriented to the house have an opportunity to leave. Most of the field bees will go here. Most of the nurse bees will stay right here. The nurse bees don't know where to go. Remember, that's a key. They're putty in your hands. They've never oriented, so they go boop right where I put them. Nurse bees. We just have to make sure that we don't crash this colony. Bees are calm right here. Queen's still right here. Just bedding. Queen is still here. Cell over here. See cup. Okay. Now I don't have near the volume of bees that I thought I would have, so I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to stick with these two divisions. There she is. See the corner of my tool? There she is. Do you see her? She's right there. Okay, now she's going to go in a box. No, she's not. Okay, now I have caught her in a clip. I got her off the frame. She's caught in the clip. I don't know if you can see her. She's in the top above my thumb. See, she's upside down, that red bottom, right above my thumb. Okay, so she's in the clip, okay? Excellent. This, now that I know where she is, it frees me up to make more liberal maneuvers. I don't have to worry about where she is. So I have a swarm cell on the frame here, and I need to get her off so I can deal with this swarm cell. Does that make sense? Just watch. So she's right here. Nope. Even if we'll just leave her there. Now. Now watch this. Let's see, you gotta think about this. How do I want to do this? I got a swarm cell here. Now wait a minute. Gotta think this through. Queen's down there. Now I can see him gather up on her. But I had, see, maybe, maybe I could get away with a split. You gotta think things through. Okay, so that's a drone cell. Where was, I had, there it is. Okay, see that cell, that queen cell? Great. And I still have the bees on here, great. And the queen's been removed, oh yes. So here's one I'll put in a nuke box and make a little split. Okay, so that's a great queen cell. That's a great queen cell, swarm cell. Even if there's another one on there, that's okay too. Also too, in the Apivox readings, when I did the Apivox readings, Apivox actually tells you swarm cells present, beekeeper needs to take action. It is. And we'll couple it with slides in a class, the Apivox readings with this lesson. I just did the reading yesterday. There it is. You've already seen the swarm cells. Hey, hey, hey. Just going to wet them down, just to calm them down. They will know that their queen is not there. That nuke box is plugged up, so the queen is in the clip. Bees are coming up to her. this is great stuff. Okay, so we worked the queen over, we found her, clipped her, she's right there. Now I'm in more control of what's going on, to the extent that we can have control. Now, I've got bees here. More mature bees are coming back to the parent spot. I know where the queen is. Still just looking at the health of the bees. It's okay. So I'm going to deposit some nurse bees. These are mostly nurse bees. Back in here. This is a food frame, a pollen and honey frame, so it will go towards the outside. Now they have a couple of swarm cells in there they can work. Also have an empty box now, and those bees get swept off with a feather. Use a feather. The bees don't mind a feather. Use the big old yellow brush, and they hate that brush. Okay, I will clean that box later. That box will get cleaned later. Use a spacer in case I have queen cells pointing down. I don't crush them when I put them on the next box. Right. Clear as mud. Clear as mud. All right. Just an empty frame. An empty frame the bees can work. Time to clean up comb. Okay, we'll give them that frame. Yeah, we'll put you to work. Okay. We're on the downhill side of this. The queen is clipped up there. The bees are up in the hood. They've got 2 or 3 swarm cells here. Brood is here, no swarm cells. And a little split I was able to go ahead and take. Scraping off the wax to get it out of the way. Okay, learning. Okay. nice. Take the time and let you look. I see big mature girls here. That's a food frame. We call that a food frame. Okay. I'm going to give that to the little nuke we just split. Calm them down. They get nervous. That one's done. So the nuke has a nice fat swarm cell, plenty of bees, little broods, some food, done. Has some blackie comb going on here, so I'm going to have to use a big long serrated bread knife and cut it.